It's beer time, and today we have a Spanish lager brewed in Spain, apparently.
Cerveza.
It's on the back of it, it says specially produced for Aldi Stores. So it's an Aldi special. It's San Marcos Cerveza.
It's a big bottle.
It's a 660ml bottle, and it's 5% ABV.
And it was £1.69. Bargain.
That's a bargain.
That is a bargain.
But is it going to taste like a bargain?
Well, normally Aldi beer was pretty good, I think. So
Let's have a look.
I have high hopes. It does say brewed specifically for Aldi, although it does suggest that you can get it from other retail outlets.
Nice colour.
The label reminds me of a Spanish beer, but I can't think what it is. Do you know?
No. Oh, is it San Miguel, maybe?
Oh, maybe, yeah. Yeah. San Marcos, San Miguel.
I don't know whether you can see that, but it actually says Spanish lager brewed in Spain.
Although
we don't think it is.
Research suggests it's brewed in the UK, so...
Yeah. By whom, we do not know. But it's one finger head. It's quite a dark golden, isn't it?
Mm.
It's not a light lager. You know, some of them are really pale, aren't they?
Yeah, it's quite dark.
Really fine bubbles.
Really?
Really fine bubbles. Right, let's have a snifter.
Have a whiff.
That's actually quite citrusy.
Do you think? Get a touch of citrus. I wouldn't say citrusy.
Well, I would say citrusy, because it is citrusy. But that's all I'm really getting. What about you?
I get the hint of citrus, but not a strong... Just smells like lager.
Well, for a lager, that is quite citrusy, I think. But I'm not getting anything else. I'm not getting any malt or anything like that. It's just... And it's not fruity.
No, it isn't fruity.
It's just citrusy, isn't it? It's just like a citrus smell. What citrus, I don't know.
I kind of get a little sweet smell.
Really? No, that's not good, is it?
But that's about it. There's not much to the nose.
There's not much on the nose, to be honest. So we'll just go straight in.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers, everyone.
Salute. That's all right, you know. For £1.69.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. It's actually, it's not bad. It's a lager, isn't it?
It definitely is a lager, and I think when you buy something like this that is pretty standard, and you compare it to other macro beers, I think that holds its own with them.
Oh, definitely.
It doesn't compare with some of the, you know, specialist lagers.
Name one.
The Cardiff one. Tiny Rebel.
She's thinking the Tiny Rebel 313 because she
it doesn't
loves that
hold
lager.
a candle to that. But, you know, to
or
be fair...
Krombacher.
Yeah, or Krombacher. But when you compare this with your micro lagers for that price...
Micro or macro?
Macro.
Micro lagers.
Macro lagers for that price, that holds its own, doesn't it? I think. I mean,
Go on.
if I took a few of these to a barbecue and, you know...
They're big bottles.
Offered them out, yeah, I don't think anybody would complain.
Offered them out?
Well, at £1.69.
I don't think... buy £1.69 bottles.
I don't think people would complain. Oh.
But what are you getting on the taste? I can actually taste a bit like caramel malt.
I think it's sweet with a very slight bitter edge.
Yeah, it's not much bitterness at all, which is the bit of downfall for me. But there is a citrusy kick to it.
A little bit, yeah.
It's quite carbonated, but also it's actually quite smooth.
And it's light and it's refreshing. And it's at the moment, it's not gassy for me.
No. overall, it's a pretty good lager. I would prefer to drink that than Carling or Foster's.
There you go.
And there you, or Carlsberg, the standard Carlsberg.
If I'm drinking lager, it tends to be Bud or Coors or the typical ones. If I could have this as an alternative at that price, I wouldn't hesitate. No, in the pubs and stuff.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's not going to be in the pubs.
No, exactly. I'm just saying if. But, it's got legs.
For the money, and the size, do you want some more?
Yeah.
She does, look. She don't often say that.
I think this is decent for the price. I really do. That's good value.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's, to be quite honest, it's not a bad beer.
No. Does it stand out? No. Is there anything special about it? No. But to pay $1.69 for 660ml and it tastes half decent compared to the others that you might pay, I don't know what you'd pay 660ml for, but it'd be way over $1.69
for a San Miguel kind. Because that's what it looks like, San Miguel.
I think that's where it's
That's kind of what it's
kind of inspired by. And I'm not a big fan of San Miguel.
No, nor me.
But this is all right.
Well, like you say, if you bought San Miguel in that size bottle, it's going to be a lot more than £1.69.
Yeah, and actually, I prefer this.
And I think San Miguel is overrated. San Marcos, it's not overrated.
No,
but it's okay.
I'm all right with this.
If you was, like you said, at one of your barbecues or whatever, and you handed that out to me, I'd be quite happy.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
And I think anybody else.
You were going to offer them out, wouldn't you?
Hand them out to people.
I'd keep going round in the queue. I'll have one.
That is all right. For $1.69, I think that's half decent.
Well, let's score it then, shall we?
Oh, see, this is where it's hard because I don't want to give it a really high rating because it's not a standout lager.
No, I know what you mean, but because of the
value, and it is a quality. It doesn't taste like a cheap. It's not thin in the mouth. It doesn't have any of those.
It's actually not bad. It's a little bit too sweet for me. If it had a nice bitter finish, then it would be better. But it's okay.
So I'm going to go 4 because I think 4 is my kind of benchmark for standard beer,
which is quite high. 4 out of 5.
Well, I think when you consider the value and you consider the quality, and when you consider comparing it with a macro beer, which I think you've got to because that is what it is.
Yeah.
Then I think it deserves that.
I get you. I think if that was more expensive, if it was like over £3, which is still pretty good price for the size of it, but if it was on a par with other lagers, macro lagers.
I was going to say it's not gassy. It's
on price, then I would give it probably 2.5. But because of the value of it, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5.
Okay.
It's a little bit too sweet for me, but it's a decent lager, isn't it? It's not bad.
Well, quite honestly, just for, drinking at home and having a beer in the garden or wherever we buy macro beer, we'd be better off buying that.
Yeah. So we're going to go to Aldi's tomorrow and buy 24 of them. Anyway, so that is a great value lager.
Yeah, really good value lager.
What was it, 169?
169.
For a 660ml bottle, 5% ABV. So it's, if you look at Carling and Foster's and that, they're like, I think Foster's is 3.7.
Yeah, that's decent.
Buddy's only 4%, isn't it? So you're getting a good ABV, still sessionable, just on the session fence, isn't it? But for £1.69. Anyway,
brilliant.
So that's San Marcos Cerveza from
whoever does
it, yeah.
Well done.
But you can get it from Aldi, obviously. Anyway, coming up, we have a Hofbrau Dunkel.
Hofbrau
Dunkel, 5.5% ABV. So that's what's coming up next. But until then,
Cheers.
Aldi.